achievement unlock there. It's called a pro gamer move, by the way. Alright, now we're really getting into it, into the actual policy decisions. Let's see how we can guide our dear nation. Election promises. As Anton Rain, you have made many promises to the people of Swordland in order to gain their votes. They must be considered very carefully. Economy. Now, can we move this? No. I'm assuming this one. Holsa. Ren. Land. I guess this one is ours. Let's have a look. We have some sea exposure, that's good. We have an internal barrier with some infrastructure. Railways. Roads. Don't know what this red is. Hopefully an oil pipeline. And I'm guessing these are cities. Alright. Sudan's economy has been based on planned doctrine since its formation. Tut tut. Until the former president, Evald Alfonso, enacted free market reforms, now the country finds itself in between two different economic systems. Provide the free market. We want to make money because we want the economy to be going well, because that will encourage voters to vote for us. Diplomacy. The intensifying global rivalry between capitalist Arcasia in the west and communist United Kontana in the east is opening new diplomatic possibilities. Suzerain could take steps to align itself closer to one. Okay, west, east and neither. Well, this is a geopolitical decision and we haven't seen the map that we're playing on at the moment, but which would incline me to going for neither. However, because we are promoting a free market economy, we're going to go with the West, not just because of historical conditions, but because the underlying political environment aligns capitalism and free market. So hopefully this combination will allow us a certain amount of alignment with the hegemon. Historically speaking, in our reality, of course, that was the United States. So a fair criticism of my decision making here would be that I have a variety of survivorship bias or one of the other biases that affect decision making. I'm open to that possibility. If you wish to make that analysis, let's consider the counterfactual. If we were to promote a planned economy, it would make sense to align ourselves with the communists in the east, because the communists have planned economies and this would align ourselves. Now, the other criticism that you could make is that, generally speaking, whichever of these we should choose, we should pick neither, because that would be hedging our bets until we find out who is actually gaining the upper hand with capitalism and communism. Some would say this is the role that India plays during the latter part of the Cold War. I'm inclined to go with the free market because under conditions of uncertainty, rapid adaptation to new circumstances is more important. Whereas a planned economy, if we knew what our situation was already in full transparency, which never really exists, but bear with me for a moment, we might theoretically go for planned economy, especially if we were willing to sacrifice efficiency in favour of certainty of achieving certain outcomes. So we're going to stick with free market. And what are we going to do about it? Diplomacy. It's a choice between neither and west. Generally speaking, hedging is a smart move. Alright, I've convinced myself to go with neither, and I hope I've convinced you as well. Okay, immigration. In recent years, Bludish, Vasic and Agnolian immigrants flocked to Swordland due to relaxed immigration laws enacted by Evald Alfonso. As a result, tensions between swords and immigrants have been increasing. Alright, there's an economic argument to relax immigration, so obviously that's why Evald Alfonso chose that. However, under conditions of uncertainty, tensions need to be restrained, so we're going to tighten immigration. Plus, keep in mind that part of the reason that we came to power was on the basis of sustaining national values. So, by tightening immigration, we'll be keeping our promise to the voters. Now, I suspect that this is not a pure democracy, but we should always play to our advantage. Alright, let's move on. Term focus. We have promised to focus on a certain extensive subject within our first term. The people expect us to solve the negative situations within this topic while providing an overall improvement to the related policies. Fair enough too. Health. Since the 1940s, the difference of service quality between urban and rural hospitals has been getting increasingly worse, and the average life expectancy has dropped significantly. Not good. The health of the people is the supreme law. Education. The lack of schools, teachers and even classroom equipment in certain areas causes massive gaps in the previously robust education system. Not good. We need to ensure an educated class, and even at the risk of overproduction of elites, pardon me, in order to maintain the bureaucracy and the officer class. Law and enforcement. Increased crime is pushing law enforcement to their limits while judges at courts deal with a huge and expanding backlog of legal cases. Well, it's certainly something that I would like to deal with. Military. The military protects the country from hostile threats, and while some see it as a massive financial burden, others argues it is a critical deterrent. Well, from the realpolitik perspective, this is the choice that we make. Because without a military, all of these become questionable. If we are attacked and we start to lose a war, all of these will go down drastically. So this is our centre of gravity. Promises will be remembered and have consequences. Are you sure about your decisions? Of course, this is the moment of decision. Act with certainty. 2 weeks have passed since we won the election. I need to click here. Very good. I was about to be sworn in as the 4th president of Suzerain. Thousands were watching the inauguration ceremony and cheering my name. Anton Rain, Anton Rain, Anton Rain. The die was cast. Yes, alla iacta est. The Maroon Palace stood on top of the famous Hill of Pride. I had no way of knowing what future awaited me there. What happens if I click on these hyperlinks? Okay, good. And hold on. I'm not going to read all of that. It's fancy. Good. Hill of Pride. Okay, good. Frank. Growing up well, son. Very good, daughter. Still hot after all these years. As my thoughts slowly faded away, the reality of the situation dawned on me. Orso Hawker, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, was waiting for me. The time for the oath has come. Yes, indeed. I do solemnly swear that I will respectfully execute the office of the President of Suzerain and to the best of my ability preserve, protect and defend the people and the Constitution of the Republic of Suzerain. You may now deliver your inauguration speech, Mr. President. It is an honour. Dear citizens of Suzerain, the idea of unity For many generations, this country and its long history have kept us tied to an idea, the idea of unity, our people's right for a free and prosperous life. Yes, well, and inaugurational addresses, generally speaking, tend to be uplifting moments of celebration, so we're going to ignore this unless absolutely necessary. Our capabilities, that's certainly worthwhile. If we stand together, we will prevail. Let's continue with the message of unity. In the past, there have been times of survival, conflict, and hardship. Whenever we stood together, we prevailed. Very good. I promise you, we will stop the recession and eliminate poverty. Okay. Number one is not a good message because nobody knows what the economy is going to do. So this is just rolling the dice. The future awaits us. Suzerain is above all in the world. Fantastic. This is great. First, we must rewrite our broken constitution from 1929. Okay, this is really important. But although we want to do this, we do not want to say that we want to do this because our message is respect for the national inheritance. So instead, we're going to aim for patriotism. It's time for a united and powerful Swordland once again. Again, that's our patriotic message. Change now, not in the next decade or years. Today, this is certainly a viable message, but not one for us. Our capacity as a nation has never been greater. Here we go. This is the kind of positive and uplifting message that I'm looking for. Fantastic. Hundreds of thousands cheered, and we executed the rest. Oh no, wait. They were shouting my name in unison. I felt the responsibility, power, and burden all at the same time. Yes, that's right. Huge applause. Good. One of the presidential guards came by to notify that it was time to leave. I made my way to the leading car in the motorcade. The presidential state car was a jet black Kadia, with flags of Swordsland above the front headlights. Oof, sorry about that, it was a bit of a bump there. Next to it, the man was holding the door. Hello, Mr. President. You're gonna shoot me, eh? I am Suzerain, your new driver. Eddie's Suzerain. As you wish, Mr. President. Good. Good. Clicked on that one. Narrative. Every time I look at it, I'm reminded of my duty to this nation. Oh, good man. Yeah. Okay. Conversation with a fellow. Morning will come, victory is close. Victor and sister.